Carolyn, since we started this DVD series, we've had a really good response, and a lot of people emailing in asking questions. So I thought, well, why don't we answer some of them for them?
Okay, we can do that. Here's our first question that we received off the DVD series from Robin in Minneapolis, one of our best fans. How to stop leaving the soft 10? I'm exactly where I want to be, and I don't think changing balls is the way to go. How do I carry?
Wow, that's, you hear that a lot. The soft 10, the ringing 10, hard 10. So many league bowlers will just go grab another ball, and they will come into the bowling center with 6, 4, even more bowling balls and just stand in the same place and throw it and change balls. But generally, that's not what you want to be doing. What do you usually do in competition?
I have a choice of two options what I do when I leave a flat 10, as I like to call it. The first thing I do is I stay in the same spot and I bring my eyes a little bit closer to me to try to get the ball to roll up a little bit sooner and maybe kick out the 10. If that doesn't work, my next move would be to move my feet a couple of boards left and soften up my ball speed to change the angle of entry into the pocket.
Yeah, I think that's where bowlers need to understand it. Your first move should be a front to back move. You want to adjust where the ball is skidding, hooking, and getting into a roll. And generally that soft or weak 10 is the ball just didn't reach a roll. So we have to find a way to get it to pick up a roll a little bit earlier. So you can soften your speed slightly, come up the back a little bit more, pull your eyes close. Just try to change the front to back motion some. If you can't get enough of that, then it's definitely going to be an angular change. The good thing is, if you change your angles and you move left a little bit on those house conditions and it doesn't kick it out, it gets worse, you eliminate something, you know you got to go the other way.
Right, and one of the things I want people to remember, though, is although you get frustrated with the flat 10 or the ring 10, it is spareable. And one of my philosophies has always been, at least you're not giving up the pocket. Make the spare, try to figure it out.
That's the hard part. You always try to strike, and the bowlers will go out, and they're not striking. So the switch balls switch angles, and all of a sudden now they're getting washouts, they're getting splits, they're getting sleepers. It's better 9 spare and just fine. It's just a fine-tune adjustment. It's not a major move.
Right, so it's a little bit more about patience sometimes than making all these ball changes, hand position changes, where your eyes are. Just a little patience, one move, try it.
And discipline. Just work it and just figure it. I'm close.
Okay. We have another question that was sent to us. We were very active. We have a very active little DVD friend page. Okay, this one is from another good friend of ours, way up in the north there, from Buffalo, our friend Jason. What should I use as my target for my strike shot? Should I use the arrows? And where's my break point supposed to be?
Okay, I mean, this is a very good question. You hear a lot of times because the books, the manuals, everything would always say, pick a board. And, dealing with Junior Team USA and Team USA, so many players nowadays are shape players. They're looking at the overall motion and the shape, and then they hear coaches always say, you need to pick out a board. And that's going to be so precise, it almost tightens them up. It gets them bound up that they just can't execute. So whatever system you want to use, you want to make sure that you're consistent with it, but the key is you want to be relaxed with it. And the players, a lot of times, they're not going side to side. Which way are they looking? They're looking front to back. So they can possibly draw lines from the break point down through the arrows, looking at the arrows. They can just see the vision of the shape they want to do the shot. But so many players are more motion or shape bowlers than actually board bowlers.
Now, I have a lot of bowlers ask me, though, they only bowl once a week, 3 games, they bowl in the same house. So what is a general rule of a house shot?
Well, generally, in a house shot, they put it out there as recreational bowling, and it's you want to have some fun. So they kind of give you some guidance, so to speak, on the lanes. There is more conditioner in the middle, so that when the ball gets pulled in a little bit more towards the head pin, makes the ball go a little bit straighter. And then again, if it gets outside a little bit more, there's a little bit more friction, helps it recover and come back. So you have, what we call push in the middle, you have hook outside. So house shot, you definitely want to find the oil, and then you want to find the dry. So if you're going up that oil line all the way, you're not going to get a good reaction. So generally on the house shots, you want to have it start in the oil, but it needs to find dry before it gets to the back end.
So don't forget to be able to find that. You might have to move your feet a little bit on the approach. It's not always about what you're looking at on the lane. It may be just moving your feet left or right, keep the same ball in your hands, and just execute.
And change the angles a little bit. And I'm talking about the break point. Don't be so concerned where your teammates are crossing the arrows at, unless they throw it very similar to you. Look where the ball or someone's scoring, where's the ball at down lane, and with your style, how can you get it down lane to that spot?
Okay. We have one more question, and this, this guy, Matt, I'm telling you, he emails, I swear, all the time. He's great. I know. There's so many people, but we appreciate it. Matt's from Dallas, and he asks, I have guys on my team that vary sometimes 2 to 4 miles per hour, and they ask me, I don't know what I did wrong on that shot. How do you develop a consistent ball speed?
First advice for Matt. Apparently, his teammates are looking at him to be a coach, so I definitely think that he needs to go into the coaching certifications.
I know where he can get some certification. Just contact me, Carolyn.dory-ballard@bowl.com.
So he can answer those. But the key is, in your bowling center, you're looking at the ball speed. Usually it's picking up the ball speed down by the pins. So the ball is already slowed down, and a variation of 2 to 4 miles an hour could be the difference between a spare ball and a strike ball, because the spare ball is not slowing down. The strike ball is hooking and is actually slowing down.
Another key factor, would you agree, Coach Rod, is that if you bowl 3 games a week and you're not getting any practice in, it's hard to become consistent. I do feel that with timing, you become more consistent, in which then your release becomes consistent, your ball speed becomes consistent, your spare shooting becomes better. So it kind of all goes together, where you do have to practice a little bit. The 3 games may just not be cutting it.
And make it repeatable. But yeah,
right.
I guess timing is consistency, and consistency is what you need for ball speed. The thing is that you're reading ball speed so far down the lane that any inconsistencies on the lane, more oil or drier, is going to change the variation more. It's going to amplify the problem. Bear in mind, most of your higher end bowlers, I mean, I'm not talking about elite PBA bowlers, but I'm talking about your higher end bowlers, are lucky to be within a half a mile an hour from shot to shot. So don't get so tied up in being precise on that. We just want to be repeatability and be smooth.
Excellent. Well, thank everybody for their questions, and we hope you enjoyed the newest DVD.
And if you have questions you want us to answer in a future DVD, you want to email this address here below, and we'll get your question hopefully on air.